What's up, guys? We are back. UFC Rio, Gamrot versus Oliveira. I'm your host, Picks by Pegasus. I'm here with Key 3 Picks and Dravhy. I mean, guys, we're coming off, last week was a banger. Poatan is back. Didn't win Contender Series last night. Had fight of probably the show history. I mean, all-time high going into a Charles Oliveira fight week. I feel like there's not as much hype this week as expected. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel like everybody just consensus is that everybody feels like Charles is just coming back way too soon. Yes, I don't expect it to be something like crazy because it's not like he's fighting a power puncher at all. Kind of the exact opposite, but it just shows kind of that the career decision wise, it just doesn't make sense. He's already talking about wanting Holloway for the BMF belt right after this. It just seems like it's a lot of fucked up stuff going on with Charles.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, what was it, 3 months ago about? It's a little too much.
Yeah.
Trav, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think the card is decent, honestly. There's a lot of Brazilian on the card. I think, maybe a lot of finishes. I like the card, especially for a prop standpoint. And yeah, Dynamite Contender Series. I mean, fuck Dynamite Contender Series for betting, but as far as fight goes, that last card was pretty fucking cool, man.
Dude, 700 significant strikes in a 3-round fight.
Crazy, bro. That was
crazy. So,
Dana White gave them $25K each. That was also crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they deserve it, bro.
They do for sure. But it's the first time he's ever done that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see it too, honestly. But all right, first fight of the night. We have Simon Oliveira versus Luan Lacerda. 12-3 is Lacerda. 18-6 is Oliveira. Not to be confused with Charles Oliveira. Plus 220 for Oliveira. Minus 260 for Lacerda. Dravhy, I'm going to have you go first. I mean, Lacerda, if he stayed active, would be a much better fighter. The issue is he's been out of the cage for 2 years. Other than that, I do think he deserves this fight tag just because Simon's kind of ass. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of these guys should be in the UFC. They're not really good, but Lacerda has done a little bit better against, decent competition. But the layoff, I don't like it, man. I mean, it's just a shit show. They should be fighting in LFA or something. But yeah, I think Lacerda is a bit better everywhere and should get this done. Oliveira, maybe live for a submission, but I don't really see it.
It's kind of crazy that I'm seeing a lot of people parlay Lacerda this week. I'm like, how do you know what to expect?
Because he's probably better everywhere, but it's just these type of fighters that you parlay and then they end up losing somehow, and you're like, why did I parlay them? I think it's this fight like that. Oliveira could put a guillotine or something, but I don't really see it.
Key, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Lacerda gets it done. Like Dravhy said, neither guy should be here. Yeah, I don't know why they put a fight like this. I get they're both Brazilian, but why put this on a actual fight night card instead of just letting them come to Vegas and fight in the Apex on a slot fest card? Feels kind of lame, but I think Lacerda gets it done. I would not be parlaying this guy, inactive, bad decision maker at times. I'm good.
All right, next fight in the evening we have is Julia Polastri versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Kowalkiewicz.
Oh,
fuck.
It was a tough one. It's also wouldn't be there. All right. Polastri 13-5, 16-9 on the KK side. So we'll call her. Polastri minus 450. Holy shit. KK is plus 350. Key, is this line wide or no?
No, it's not wide. I think that Polastri deserves every bit of juice here. She's had some, an underwhelming run so far from a record standpoint. But the UFC knows how good she is, I assume. And that's based off of the matchmaking here. It seems like she's somebody that they want to keep around. That round 3 versus Luque was one of the coolest rounds at 115 I've seen in a long time, honestly. She walked Luque down like she was the fucking Terminator, knees, stepping, elbows. She's digging to the body. It's just nasty, nasty shit. And Polastri doesn't hit that hard. It's just that she uses everything she has. Knees to the body, clinch, elbows, leg kicks, body kicks, punches to the body. She comes up top. Like she doesn't disregard any level of her opponent. She's leg, body, and head. She's going to use it all. And I think that she's a problem for a lot of girls, honestly. The one issue in Polastri's game, which is consistently shown, is her grappling. Defensively, she can be taken down. She can spend time on her back. I think that she could be better getting up. I think that she just makes dumb decisions at times. I think that she'll decide to stay on her back and settle on her back instead of instantly scrambling up, fighting the hands, and breaking contact. And so I think that some of that is decision making, because it seems to me that she has good hips. She's a good athlete, fluid athlete. So I wouldn't see a reason as to why she isn't able to get up outside of decision making, and then a couple technical mistakes, of course. But versus a girl like Karolina Kowalkiewicz, I don't expect for that to be an issue here. I mean, Karolina was getting fucking reversed by Diana Belbita. I mean, we've got to be real here. I mean, if you're getting reversed by Belbita, then God bless. I think the Dravhy or Peg would be able to out wrestle Belbita right now easily. So I don't get it. I think that here Polastri is a bowling ball whenever she starts rolling downhill. Round one, you typically see her start to throw just one shot. She's just touching, and looking to make her reads. And then as the fight goes on, she starts to add on combinations. She starts to flow. She's just a lot of fucking fun whenever she starts rolling downhill. She puts her hands down, mean, in your face. The nickname Psycho is very fitting for somebody that fights like she does. So obviously I would love for her to make a little bit better decisions in the future, because I think that that's one of the things that may cap her ceiling. But I think that she is really good. I mean, really good. Checks the boxes on the feet. Cardio-wise, she's really, really calm in there. And that's a lot of the difference. In the Luque fight, you could tell that Luque was just, towards the end, just so skittish and just wasn't able to stay calm under the pressure. And Polastri was cool as ice, just walking her down nonstop. And whenever she is getting hit, I saw somebody last time she fought, somebody said something about her head movement, and that she does get touched too much. And while I can't agree that she is sometimes too content just staying in the pocket, I also think that that's just who she is. She's staying there, and she does have a high guard, but if you notice, she ends up catching a lot of stuff at this, especially with the right hand. She ends up catching a lot of punches and is able to shoot off that. So I think that here she's going to walk Karolina down. It's just a matter of if Karolina is going to get finished or not, honestly, here. So I think unders could be a decent look. I think ITD could be a decent look. There's some wide numbers on KO. So stuff like that. I hope more commercials are dropping by the time that this comes out. So I think that Polastri has all the upside in the world. I think that she gets it done in front of the home crowd here. And I think that she has a chance to build some hype here. Karolina hasn't been finished by Diniz Gomes, who hits much harder than Polastri. Wasn't finished by Lucindo, who Lucindo had her mounted. So Karolina's been getting out of these fights without getting finished. So if Polastri were to get a finish, that would be a huge statement here. I know Karolina's old, but that would still be a big time statement here. So Polastri's my girl. I like her a lot. I think Polastri gets it done in a really, really good way.
Yeah, I mean, if you like it, unders are like what, plus 350? If you like,
yeah, they're huge numbers on these, so it's not like you have to be super passionate. And it is 115 women's MMA, so it's not like that there's a bunch of finishing upside in every fight.
Yeah.
And Karolina isn't a gasser. But I just don't know if she wants to be in there with somebody who fights like a dog, like Polastri does.
Yeah, that was kind of gonna be my point. You go on her Instagram, KK looks a little bit checked out, if you ask me. You said she's 40 years old now. I'm not really sure if she's still in it for the right reasons. Polastri, strong, vicious, goes forward constantly. I don't know. Kind of seems like a recipe for finishing her early, but I don't know. Probably Polastri a pass for me. Sub is kind of where I was leaning, was the sub path, but we'll see.
And real quick, and I'll ask Dravhy this question before he goes.
Yeah,
because I thought that this was it might be a reach. But I saw on tape the way that she was walking people down, how calmly she was, and how much she was in the pocket. It did remind me of some Peyton Talbot. I'm not gonna lie. I know that sounds pretty crazy. Obviously, she doesn't hit as hard or none of that, but just the way that she was throwing, how calm and upright she was, it reminded me of Peyton Talbot. And so yeah, Dravy, did you see a little bit of that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the way she fights, I mean, she's cocky in there, right? That's basically what it is. She's cocky. She trusts herself, but she's hittable for sure. But like, she trusts herself, and that's her style. Like you said, her nickname is the Psycho, and you can see it in her fight for sure. I mean, the pressure, the volume, and especially in the clinch, she's nasty in the clinch with those knees, elbows. She goes to the body. There's a lot of things to like, honestly. Even watching back that Dana White Contender Series fight she had when she got the submission, man, that fight was pretty insane to watch. And you know, the Lupe fight, she got taken down, didn't look too good in round one, but Lupe looked good in round one against pretty much anybody, right? That she always good early. But then in round three, I mean, that was pretty impressive. She bust her up. She was landing a lot of big shots, and we know Lupe is very durable, never been finished. So she hung in there, but I do think there was a lot of good looks in that fight at the end. And same for she lost against Knudsen, but when she got on top, I think I was at the end of round one. The way she was doing her ground and pound looked like she was, you know, she's really mean on top as well with those elbows and stuff like that. So I do see a lot of opportunity where she could get a finish here personally. Like on top with the ground and pound is one of the possibility because I think she's better on top. And then, you know, KK has been submitted before. It's been a long time, but it did happen. So I could see Polastri getting a real naked choke as well. And on the feet, I mean, the problem with KK is that she doesn't have enough power and she's too slow, I think, for Polastri. I don't think she's gonna like the pressure. And let's talk about it because remember last week I was very passionate about Zalal, and one of the reasons was Josh Emmett age, and people were talking about is what what you're about to say, Key?
That fuck Yusuf Zalal. That's how I feel.
But remember what I said. I said Josh Emmett at 40 or 41 years old, the chances of him getting finished now compared to 2 years ago against Ilya Topuria, for example, are just way more likely fight by fight. And the odds are way better for him to get finished now compared to what it was 2 fights ago, right? I kind of feel the same here. Like Gomez and Lucindo to finish KK, the odds were so much lower. And it was 1 year and a half ago, right? When she was 38. Now she's going to be 40 next week and she has not fought in a year, and people kind of expect her to come back and have the same durability, the same willing to win and stuff like that. But remember when she fought Lucindo, right? She was on a 4-fight win streak, so motivation was high. She was kind of doing her thing, and she lost. But I think it was the Lucindo fight that she got her, or was it the Gomes fight? I don't remember. Have you watched all of them today? But one of those fights, she got her eyes busted early in round one, and you can see her reaction when she get hit. She was not looking good, and I think it was Gomes. She was just too happy to just play and not go for the finish. Even Lucindo, they were so patient, just not rushing finishes, which was kind of surprising considering how they fight normally. So I just think here, Polastri, the way she fights, she pressure a lot. That's just her style, and I think because of that, because how much volume she throw, and because she's fighting at home, and because she's a psycho, she's gonna go for it. And in the clinch, I do think it's gonna fuck her up, honestly. And then if she get on top, she could also finish. And again, KK is gonna be 40 years old now, fighting a young, hungry Brazilian at home who want to kill somebody. So I do think Polastri is going to finish her. Honestly, that's what I'm predicting outright, and the price was pretty good for it. So I do think the finish is very live to happen. And also, there's like a lot of good angles on this fight. I'm not going to go too much into it, but even like the spread, there's just a lot of ways you can play her and make money, even though she's a big favorite. But I do think her being a big favorite makes sense because of KK age, because of the 1 year layoff, and because she and remember or what is it, or 4-fight win streak. It was against the bottom the barrel level of competition. So yeah, I do think Polastri here is going to get it done, either a dominant decision or probably a finish. Honestly, that's the way I see it. And now Peg's going to be ready to tell all what I said and post it in the Discord, so everybody's going to see it probably before we drop the video.
Yeah, so we're betting the under, and we're betting Polastri IDD, and we're betting Polastri by sub. That's the way we're going about this fight, it sounds like. No, I'm kidding. But before I forget, I almost did. Guys, we had a new sponsor, overtime.xyz. bet $10, they'll give you $20, or you bet 50, they'll match 50. It's a crypto sports book. They take every crypto coin you could think of. They don't limit you, so it's kind of made for bettors who are sharp. A lot of times you guys get limited. People get limited. They get kicked off books, whatever it is. They're not very happy with this. Their number one thing is they're not doing that. They're happy to put up bets, take money. They have the same thing your traditional books offer. They have live bets. They have same game parlays, player props, and they have thousands of lines across 20 sports. The big difference is you don't get banned, blacklisted, and they cannot refuse to pay out since it's on crypto. The proof is all right there on the blockchain. Sign up is so easy to do. You click the link, you go in. It's kind of like when you buy something off a website where like you just tap like pay with Apple Pay, you hit sign up with Apple Pay, sign up with Discord, sign up with Twitter. All you do is press that, double click the side of your iPhone, and you log into an account, you deposit, everything's super smooth. They even pay all the fees for you. So there's no fees involved either. Less VIG there. You don't have to worry about the VIG that you see on other sports books when you pay with crypto. Link in the bio, right below here. Join up. We've been using it. It's been good so far. We vetted it. We're not just scaling out for this. So overtime.xyz, I think it is. Link is down below. All right. Next fight, Walter Walker versus Mo Usman. Mo is 11-4. Walter Walker 14-1. Odds on these two gentlemen, we got Walker minus 315, Muhammad Usman plus 265. Drav, I'm going to have you go first. I mean, Walker's getting his fourth heel hook in a row here, I think, right?
Alvarez line is getting smashed, minus 700 right now.
I believe it, but everyone should be playing the under.
It's going up. So I mean, this fight, the thing I'll say is I remember his last fight, right? I've played him. He was a big underdog against Kennedy, and everybody was saying there's no way you get another heel hook, right? We're not gonna play that. There's no way that happen. And you just get it again. And I just feel like at some point it's going to stop, but I'm not going to go out there and say it's not going to happen again because it can definitely happen, right? But the thing I'll say about Kennedy, remember he rushed him and he hurt him early, right? He should have taken down after, but he hurt him on the feet. The thing I'll say about Usman is he's chinny, man. In almost every fight he gets hurt. He has bad reaction when he gets hit. He has bad defense. And I don't think his takedown defense is really good, but he's strong. I'll give him that. I just think he has a bad chin. And I spend some of my day trying to watch Walker interviews in, was it Portuguese that he speaks, right? Yeah. Translate in English. Bro, that was something. I've listened to like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes of him talking in two separate interviews. And the traduction was pretty fucking insane. Let me tell you that. First of all, he's saying bro every fucking sentence. Like, I don't remember who said that. I think it's Brian Battle. So like, you know what I'm saying? Bro. It keeps saying that in the fucking traduction. But we know this guy is crazy, but he's even more crazy than I thought. Like the way he's talking and shit. He went to prison. There's a lot of things that he's like gone to. Not recently, but like, I mean, he was talking about his story, and it's pretty fucking crazy. But in the one point in that interviews, he mentioned that he wanted to have a KO here. And remember, he's the type of guy that's going to tell you how he wants to win. And he's been very public about going for those ill hooks and wanting those submissions, right? And he's gone in 3 times in a row. And now he's talking about a KO against a chinny dude. And I think he can get a KO. And remember, before his last couple of submissions, he had a lot more KOs than he had submissions. And he was like a ground and pound guy, right? And he's going to be bigger than Usman. I think he can get on top. If he does, I think the ground and pound could be live and also on the feet, man. I mean, if I think the dude is chinny, he can bunk him for sure. It's heavyweight at the end of the day. So, I mean, it's kind of 50-50 for me between submission and KO. I think both can happen. But on the market, there's like plus 5xx on the KO prop. So do what you want with that information. But I do think there is angle on the Walker side. I think he's probably going to find a finish in this fight. And Usman, if you think he has a chance, I think his spat is a decision. The decision prop is like plus 550 on the Usman side. I think it's pretty good, honestly, because that's how he's going to win. And he could win a decision. I could see that. Walker has not gone late in fight recently. But remember, like 2-3 fights ago, we were talking about how much of a good shape he was compared to back then in his debut when he lost like 20 pounds or something. He's in much better shape now. So I know he has 3 finishes in a row, but I do think his cardio is still going to look better than he did in his debut because of the shape he's in and the work he's putting in. So yeah, just something to note. I do think if they go the distance, it's probably going to be close, end up being a sloppy fight. But I think Walker is way more likely to finish and should be a decent favorite. And he's also at home. So yeah, he was talking about how like stressful it is because he don't see himself losing this fight at all, and that's stressful because you said when I fought Lucas Bresky, I didn't ever thought I could lose to this guy, but when I fought like Kennedy last time, he was a scary dude. I knew I could lose, and I had to prepare myself and everything, and I knew the risk of that fight, and I beat him easy. And now people are talking to me like I'm the GOAT walking in Rio, and think that I can't lose to this dude. You say like that's some pressure on my shoulders. I want to win, but I don't only want to win. I want to finish. So yeah, I do think there's some angles. If you want to go watch that interview, do it. But it was kind of painful to do. So yeah, that's basically what. If you have questions about it, let me know. But I've watched a couple minutes about it.
Yeah,
I think 20 minutes. That was crazy.
Yeah, I'm thinking the heel hook comes again. To be honest with you, just because you got to look at the heel hook in 2 different ways, right? With a guy like this who's a heel hook specialist, and like he's probably one of the better ones we have at a division that you don't see it often. Goes one of 2 ways. They drop down for a heel hook, and either you decide, okay, I'm going to let him tear my knee, and I'm going to slam away from up top, pause, or you're gonna tap early because you don't want to tear your knee, so you can fight again in 2 months and get a paycheck. So you decide whether you're going to be sidelined for 6 months with a torn up knee or you're going to get paid again. Most guys smart enough to know, all right, it's locked in, it's tight. I mean, you watched how he did it against Kenny Nchukwu. He walked in, sloppiest shot ever, kind of rocked, and just jumped inside of the clinch and just fell into it. He's going to do the exact same thing again here. And yeah, I get that Usman's like a special athlete or a former NFL player or whatever the hell, or college football player, whatever it is. That doesn't matter when this guy jumps on his ankle and starts cranking away. So I don't know. Pause again. Jesus Christ.
Peg, sorry to interrupt, but look at his face in this picture you have on Topology. Is that the face of a guy that just, after getting a heel hook, he's going to look at him like that? Look at him.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad. I think Walter Walker's gonna get 3 in a row. I think we're gonna see 4 in a row there. But I do agree. He is. We watched Usman get rocked to a Hamdi jab, so that's there too. I mean, ITD price might be a little bit better, but I'm okay with Walter Walker parlayed. I'm okay with Walter Walker sub. I'm okay with Walter Walker ITD. Totally up to you guys how you play it.
He did Key Boy so dirty last time with Kennedy, so I remember. I can't wait to hear Key breakdown about it.
Yeah, Key, what's your thoughts here with Walter Walker?
Well, I was like, there's no way. Kennedy's been doing all these BJJ competitions. All he's posting is BJJ shit. I'm like, there's no way this fucker heel hooks him. And of course, he does. I think here.
I remember you just said in the chat, GG or something.
Yeah. That shit was unbelievable to see on my TV. I think that here, I think they heel hooks him again. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Mo Usman's going to get in the clinch. He's clunky and he's always like hopping around. He is chinny. I think that comes from all the. I mean, he was a high level football player. I believe played at University of Arizona on the line. Right. And if you know anything about football, playing on the line is, I mean, you're constantly clashing helmets. So the CTE that is running through this guy is going to be fucking a sight to see whenever they donate his brain for research. But I think that here Walter could KO him. He could heel hook him. I think Walter gets it done. Sadly, it's a dumbass game. I refuse to it feels nasty to bet, because I just don't believe in this process of just jumping heel hook. And what happens?
It's working.
It's working.
It works at heavyweight, though. It works at heavyweight because no one grapples.
And so I guess it happens, but I have to imagine that Usman's been in Colorado drilling heel hook defense. So if he defends one, Walter is still the same guy who completely death gas against Bresky. We haven't seen him extend it past that, so I wouldn't be parlaying him. I think you play ITD or you played, even if you are heavy on the knockout, I think you can play knockout. I think that's probably a wide number. But I imagine that there will be a heel hook attempt in this fight. The question is, does Usman defend it or not? And if he does defend it, what percentage do you think that he wins the fight after one heel hook attempt? But I think the Walter should be. I think this price probably makes.
ITD is -110 for Walker.
Yeah, that's not bad. I think that that's solid, but I don't have a bet on this fight. It might be some of my bias and PTSD speaking after getting fucking heel hooked. It felt like I got heel hooked in the Kennedy fight. So who knows? I think the Walter gets it done though.
All right.
That was a funny breakdown.
Yeah, it is. It's good. What a time to be alive. Especially his brother's your boy. I can't believe you're hating on him when his brother's your boy.
Yeah, it's just his brother at least is like
The
doing
family
cool
name.
shit, like on the feet and doing stupid stuff on the feet. Like that's cool. But then Walter like just charges in like a fucking ape and then just pulls heel hook and like because all these fat fucks don't know how to defend, he just wins. Like that's so stupid.
It's kind of a movie. Not gonna lie. I'm here for it. All right. Next fight. We got Lucas Hocha versus Stuart Nickel. Stuart Nickel is sitting at, let's see here. Stuart Nickel sitting at plus 102. Lucas Rocha minus 121. Drav, I'm going to have you go first here. Lucas Rocha, constant pressure, little dude. Always going forward, stands up too straight. Is Nickel going to be able to get the grappling going, or is Lucas Hocha going to be able to finish Nickel on the feet?
Honestly, bro, it's a good fight. I don't have a strong read about it, and it's kind of weird because I had a really strong read against Rocha last time he fought. I had a max play on Carpenter at -150 when he fought. Reason being, I thought Carpenter was more durable. You could compete on the feet with him, and he had a big grappling edge, right? The problem I have for this fight for Nichols, because I do think he has a grappling edge for sure. I think his grappling looked pretty sick, honestly. The problem I have is I don't think he's really all that good in the back position. And Rocha, if you don't take his back, he's going to scramble his ass off. I think his get-up game is pretty good. So that's my concern. If Nicole doesn't get his back, I don't think he's going to have an easy time controlling him. But I do think he can land takedowns and a couple of them. So that's a pat for him for sure. And I do think he's probably better than what he showed in his debut, especially grappling-wise. But he was doing well with Jesus in the grappling before getting caught in that shitty guillotine. I hate that guy, Jesus fucking Aguilar, but he's better than I thought he was, man. So credits to him, I guess. But I mean, I do think Nicole's striking is not good, and I think it's not really proven as well. I've watched a lot of his fights on the regional. He went 5 rounds before. I don't think his cardio is bad, but he never really fought someone that can strike with him. So he grappled all these guys, and he's not like his submissions are decent, but he's not like all. I don't think his grappling is all that good finishing wise for the UFC level. So in Rocha, I mean, I do think he's the better striker of the two. He's more proven for sure, and he has more power, right? So I know that for a fact. And he fought a lot of grapplers, even on the regional. So he had that style multiple times, right? One of the fights I'm referring to is the fight against Matthews Severino, right? He won a decision. It was a very close fight. He got grappled in that fight. And yeah, he got grappled and still managed to, win that fight and hurt that guy. And Rocha, the weird thing is he used to get hurt before. Now it seems like his chin is okay, but he can be hurt, man. And Nico's, because of the takedown threat, we could see something coming on top, but I don't really rate his striking all that much. So I do think Rocha is the better striker. I do think he has more power, and I think I do think he's going to get taken down in this fight. I have no doubt in my mind, but I think he can work back up. The questions are, is he going to get his back taken? And if he does, is he going to survive? That's what I'm not too sure about, but I think he's going to land more damage, probably outstrike him, and he's the one fighting at home. I'll say as well, the guy is 25 years old, and he has not fought in a year, right? And he switched camp and he went to Shooter Box. So that's good, because another reason I was liking Clayton so much is because he was training at a random camp and now he's at Shooter Box. So I like to see that. And now between 24 to 25 with a new camp, we can see improvement in this game, right? And yeah, so I mean, I kind of lean Rocha, honestly. He's the hometown fighter, and you had the Nichols travels to Australia to Brazil, which not great. So yeah, I lean Rocha. I'm not really confident about it. The thing I would do if I were to bet it, I think it was just take a shot on the Rocha by decision. It's plus 500. I don't agree with that. It's a flyweight fight, striker versus grappler. I don't think Rocha knocking him out is so likely like the odds are. So I think if you go the distance, it's probably gonna be close. And they're giving you 5-1 on him to win a decision in Brazil, and he's 3-0 to the decision. So I don't really understand why it's like that. I could see him getting taken down, working back up, landing some big shots, and winning a decision at the end. But yeah, I'm not too confident on the money line. I think the money line price is fine. Rocha on minus 125. I think it's fair, 55% because of the experience, the striking advantage, the camp that he's in, and the fact that he's fighting at home. But yeah, I know Peg probably have a better read than me on who's gonna win, but you can go ahead, bro. I'm gonna lean Rocha.
What is that? A secret weapon. And you know what that is? Matus Mendonca. And he's been training with Matus Mendonca all camp long. And
he's not really good though, Mendonca.
Yo, I don't care. You know what he does do well? Grapple, back take, backpack, grapple. That's all he did with him.
What the fuck?
And Matus Mendonca is so much bigger than Nichols is. And guess what? Rocha talked about working with him all camp on his grappling. Do you want to know why Nichols got stuck in that shitty guillotine that Jesus throws up every time? It's because Nichols hates pressure. And guess what Lucas Rocha does? He gets in your face and he just wings shots all day. Only issue is he's got that weird Brazilian Muay Thai where he's standing up straight as a board. So it's easy to just shoot, get to the hips, and take him down. He gets up real well. He works back up to the fence well. He's working his jiu-jitsu. He's working his grappling. When this guy gets in his face and wings those bombs, I think Stuart Nichols is not going to know what hit him. He's at home. He's improving. He's young. The new camp with the Jukebox boys, it's going to be something special. This show is here. I remember going back, and he's also a total savage. He's a dog. The kid's a dog. You remember the Dana White Contender Series fight where that guy bit in court, was beating his ass, and out of nowhere he just fucking claps him, deads him.
That was crazy.
Deads him right on the spot. So he's got that power there for it. It's just he's just one of those savages. It's only going to be better being at the Jukebox gym. Only issue with him is he looks like he's either 15 or 40. There's no in between with him. So he's going to be okay. Clayton Carpenter fight. I remember going in that fight. I also bet Clayton Carpenter as well after seeing the grappling issues. But I remember going in the tape being like, I have no idea who this guy Rocha is, and being like, oh shit, this guy's a menace. Like he's just ready to go in there and do crazy shit. So I'll put my money on crazy shit anytime. So yeah, so that's my take on it. I also played Rocha at minus 105. I think it was available at plus 110, but I moved offshore, so had to play with the shitty vig. That being said,
look at him talking. Look at him talking.
Yeah. That being said, it is what it is. Rocha is going to be the side here. I do, like you said, the Rocha by decision. That's probably the most likely scenario, but don't be surprised if he catches this guy inside the distance also.
You think so? Because the KO is like plus 180 and the decision is 500.
That's what I'm surprised about. I did when that dropped, I was kind of just thought that was weird. I think that's because they're assuming that if it goes to decision, Nichols is just grappling, and that's
I agree with that. And he has a lot of finishes, Rocha, compared to the decision win. But I just don't agree with the price being so much different. And it's flyweight at the end of the day.
I know.
Key, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time. I think that Rocha, I lean Rocha. But like Dravhy mentioned, I was a little bit underwhelmed with Nichols' finishing abilities. I feel like I remembered him as a little bit more of a menace on top, and he just wasn't. He took some guys a little further in fights that he probably shouldn't have, or I would expect him to dominate. And Rocha, I do not think Matheus Mendonça is like the fucking key to success in grappling like Peg does. But I do think that it's good that he's been a shoot to box, and I think that it's good to be getting those looks consistently in training. So I do expect to see improved grappling. I think on the feet, Rocha has more power, will throw more volume. I think he gets it done. but I can see Nickel making this a very close fight with grappling. I think he could get him up against the cage, be able to cage push for times. I think that upside is Hoche here, though. So I went into tape thinking I would easily get to a nickel bet, but not true. I actually lean Hoche pass at these prices.
All right. Next fight we have is Irina Alekseeva versus Beatrice Mesquita. Mesquita, is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, is what Mackenzie Dern was supposed to be in the UFC. Irina Alekseeva, 5-3. She also does Jiu-Jitsu, but I don't think it's that good. Key low-level girls fight here. Well, kind of low-level girls fight here. We got the Mosquito at minus 550. Irina is plus 400. How do you think this fight goes? My prediction is Mosquito by sub.
Yeah, this is a very, very low level. I think that there's no secret about that. Mesquita is absolute shit. But she's one of the best BJJ practitioners on the women's side. So I think that she will cruise in this fight. Alekseeva will end up being on her back or giving up her back to Mesquita. I think Mesquita gets it done. If you look, Mesquita kind of got saved by that illegal kick by Hope Chase in that fight earlier this year in March. And she does take really bad shots. She's like, there's no real like rhythm or flow to her game. It's very obvious that like she's picked up the sport very, very recently. And just seeming to want to make some quick money. And she knew that she could easily get to the UFC in this division. So successful. I think that Alekseeva is the perfect debut fight for her. Alekseeva will throw hard initially, but Mesquita has had blood on her face before. She seems to have a fighting spirit. She's not a BJJ nerd that just sort of gives up as soon as she doesn't get her way. So I think that she will end up finding the back or getting on top. And from there, I think she gets a finish. I could see positional TKO also. I don't think it has to be a sub. So that's the reason why I'm not betting one way this fight. So I can see positional TKO or a sub, but I think at some point in the first 8 minutes of this fight, she gets it done. Alekseeva is just a bad decision maker. Awful cardio. Mesquita should get it done. This is honestly, like, in terms of matchmaking, this is one of like the better matches made on this fight from like a marketing standpoint. You put the great BJJ practitioner on the women's side in Rio in Brazil. I think it's kind of perfect. So Mesquita gets it done by finish.
Let me ask you this. So her by finish ITD is minus 210. Her by sub is minus 130. You go with under 1.5 at plus 140. Do you just play the under 1.5 instead of those other?
I don't think that that's bad.
Okay.
The problem with that is if you look, her last couple fights are over 1.5. You know,
to be fair, those girls are much more put together fighters than Alekseeva.
One of them is 2-4.
You're saying this is a step down in competition,
huh?
So this is a step down in competition for her debut in the UFC.
Compared to Hope Chase and Dinwiddie, I believe so.
Now you're talking to me like I know who those people are.
But the guy before Key, Arojo, is 2-5. She went over 1.5.
Yeah, that's nasty work.
And then Chanel Butler. Okay. I mean,
honestly, Peg is kind of 50-50 to me.
I was going to say Mullins couldn't finish Alekseeva. Segula.
Mullins did get hurt really badly early in that fight, if I remember correctly.
Oh my God, the Stephanie Egger knee bar. Oh my God.
And for what it's worth, I don't have a bet on this fight at all.
All right, Drav, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't have much to say as well. I do think she probably submit her, but like you said, ground and pound TKO can be live, and then if you play the sub at minus money, end up not cashing. It's annoying, but the ITD I can't get there personally at minus 2xx, but maybe round 1 and 2, something like that you can play. I don't know. What's the odds, but yeah, it's kind of tricky, Peg, because I think it can be in round 1 and round 2, and it's probably 50-50, over 1.5, under 1.5, but at least you're plus 140. It's not bad.
Yeah, playing a plus odds prop. Yeah, all right, something to look into. All right, next fight, we got the big fellas. We got Thomas Peterson fighting Vitor Petrino. Did you ever think a fight like this was going to be said out loud? Thomas Peterson versus Vitor Petrino. Petrino's 12-2. Thomas Peterson's 10-3. Petrino is -310. Thomas Peterson's +260. I mean, we got bowling ball Petrino versus big fella Thomas Peterson, the train. Drav, how do you think this fight goes?
Yeah, Petrino's gonna beat him. How is he gonna do it? I don't know.
I think so.
He's gonna beat him. Did you call his sub last time out? I think you did,
Yes,
right?
I did. Yes, sir, I did.
So yeah, it's a good price again, Peg. If you want to, play that again, I think it's
The
six.
squeeze at heavyweight something special. I'm telling you. Pause.
It's 550 on Bet Online, and it's it's 650 on Rivers if you want to bet that. But I don't know, bro. I didn't KO, but I think it could be all three methods, and Peterson can maybe make that a weird fight, but I don't know. I think Petrino should win.
That was my worry because I was originally going to do a Walker Petrino parlay, right? Nasty work, disgusting. Gets either way that parlay I think hits. The only issue I had with that it wasn't even on the Walker side. It was more on the Petrino side, just because Petrino is kind of chinny, right? And Peterson, although he eats a lot of shots, he'll still walk you down, get in front of you, and throw punches out there, and it's heavyweight. Even though he's just throwing 1-2s down the middle and getting in your face and throwing them, Vitor is one of those guys that one of those 1-2s just hits him the wrong way, and he just fucking goes out cold. So that's why I was hesitant to put that in. I may play an ITD prop on Petrino. I haven't decided yet, but that's kind of my take on it. I think Petrino wins this fight. I haven't decided whether I'm parlaying him or not. Key, you are not. Key is back.
You are disgusting. You said that you talking about guys that squeeze is crazy. You was talking about somebody cranking it on top earlier. Let us know in the comments how many pause moments we've had with Peg alone so far.
Crazy day.
But I think that Petrino gets it done just off athleticism here, but he's not good. Like I don't believe that he's a good fighter. I think the process is bad. I think that he waits too long at times. He's just sort of beating guys just off of like, I'm more athletic than you. Like, let's look at his resume. Austin Lane, like, I'm just a better grappler. Who else is there? Dustin Jacoby, he died. Anthony Smith, how the fuck do you get gillied by Anthony Smith in 2024?
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. Yeah, he's the GOAT.
Tyson Pedro Tyson Pedro quits after 5 minutes every fight. Modestus, he literally just stared at Modestus until he was like, okay, I'm tired of this.
That win aged well, though, I'll say.
That win does age well, but that's also because Modestus has been fighting harmless guys. Marcin, it took him forever to finish. Like, what is he gonna do to Peterson here? Like, I mean, I guess like he can touch him, but like I honestly think that Peterson might not be a bad dog shot, and it's kind of nasty. I don't think that he's a bad dog shot here. I wouldn't be parlaying Petrino. I think that that's really nasty work. So it's dog or pass pretty clearly here. Peterson's a somewhat put together fighter, tries to do a lot of the right things. He's had some really underwhelming losses, but it's not like he's just awful. So Petrino could bonk him, and obviously he's being set up to do so in his home country. But I think that Peterson can make this a competitive fight.
The +3.5 is +120. Do you like that?
Not really. At that point, I'd just rather take money line because like Petrino's way of like justifying any sort of price tag is through
finishing.
Bonk.
Yeah, I agree. The next fight is the Super Bowl, and Peg is gone. So
yeah, I'll take on host duties. Next fight, we're moving on to. We got Rafael Filho versus Clay and Carpenter. This is the BTL fight of the week between these two guys. I will be moderator for this one since these guys are on opposite sides here. So, Dravhy, give us your breakdown of this fight first.
Yeah, it's me versus everybody this week. I guess I'll post it on Twitter, so I'm gonna get a lot of hate.
Too. So
I'm gonna get a lot of hate this week on this pick, and I guess I'll just post it so people are gonna hate more. It's gonna give me more views, more followers when they win. But I'm on Filho here at plus money. I think he's the side. Everybody that I respect and that I think are sharps that I talk to, they all like or lean Carpenter. So I mean, maybe I'm not saying the same fight, but personally, I think Filho's the better grappler of the two. I think his BJJ is better. I think they both have solid wrestling, but the difference is I think Filho body lock takedowns are pretty good, and he's very strong in that position. And I do think if you get on top of Clayton, I think Clayton has shown issues to play off his back and not having a lot of urgency to get back up. I think the same can be said for Filho. The difference is I think Filho is more likely to get on top and win minutes personally. And because his BJJ is better, I do think he's more likely to find a submission in those positions. And I do think he's more likely to control the fight. And bro, like, I mean, the people that he fought and almost beat are good, man. I mean, his level of competition is better. He has more experience overall. He's the guy fighting at home that doesn't have to travel. Remember, he pretty much submit Mukaev. He just didn't tap right. He broke something. Like, he submit Mukaev. If you put Clayton in that position, is he gonna tap? I mean, most people would. So I don't know. The Barres fight, he got hurt, but he showed that dog in him. You love to see it. He smoked him on the ground after getting hurt, and he did throw a lot with him on the feet. And one thing I'll say about Filho, I think his striking is underrated. I had in my mind that his striking was not really good, but going back and watching like his Dana White Contender Series fight and even some fights on the regional, I think he has power in his hands and he's pretty good in the pocket with his hooks. And I think his striking overall is underrated. What he struggled with on the feet, I think, is the leg kicks. And that's something Clayton's probably going to go to and have success. Another thing about Clayton is I don't think he wear damage well on his face when he gets hit. Like, he get red, he get busted up pretty easily. But I think he's tougher. And I think he has more that dog in him, right? But, Filho's never been KO'd. And the time he's been submitted, one of them was against Mukaev at the end of round 3 after being very competitive with him. So I do think his cardio is maybe a little bit suspect in round 3, but I don't think he's a gasser by any mean, right? So the way I see this fight is I think Filho, I think the fight's going to be close on the feet, but I do see this fight playing on the grappling for the most part. I think like 75% of this fight is going to be on the ground. And if you gave me the guy who's more experienced there against better competition, who has better BJJ and I think better control, and I think he's more likely to end up in that position and finish the fight via submission, I got to bet him at plus money, especially fighting at home. And I mean, Clayton, he's going to improve. Don't get me wrong. He's a solid fighter. I had a max bet on him against Luca Rocha, and I had Tagir by decision at Pick'em last time. So I do think he's solid. And Tagir is a good wrestler, don't get me wrong. But when he was on the ground against Tagir, he closed his guard and he didn't try to get back up. He had no urgency. So I don't think he can do that here. Maybe he's going to learn from it, but I also think he's going to have a better BJJ guy on top of him. And I also play Nascimento against Filho in his last fight at Pick'em because Nascimento is a massive guy for the division. And I think his BJJ is one of the best in the entire weight class. And Filho pretty much easily out-grapple him in round 1. He had him in a guillotine. And, he made one mistake in round 3, and it cost him the fight, right? Shit happened. But I do think here he's the bigger fighter as well. And, yeah, I just think that he's slightly better and should be a slight favorite personally. So I play him at plus 100. I think he's the side. But, if you want to ride with me, I'm on an island this week on this one. So maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to find out at plus money.
You're not on an island, bro. Like, Jacob's lock of the week is going to be Filho. He's been tweeting about him all week. Like, people
so we're 2 on this side. I've talked to 10 people that are sharp, and nobody's on Filho.
So, hey, there's plenty of people that are on Filho. Trust me. I know a few that I don't want to put their names out there that are also on the Filho
Peg
side.
just want to make himself feel better, but that's okay, bro.
That being said, I'm on Clayton Carpenter minus 115. Played it for 1.5 units there. Reason I'm on Carpenter is because I think there's more room for improvement. On the feet, we know Filho gets uncomfortable, doesn't handle leg kicks well. Carpenter's leg kicks are going to be there all day. Carpenter's out of MMA lab. He's training with some of the best in the game. His cardio is good, stuff like that. Let's talk grappling now, right? BJJ-wise, if there's going to be like a submission finish, odds are it's probably going to be on the Filho side. But if we're talking about position over submission grappling, now we're talking Clayton Carpenter all day. We watch Rafael Filho.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Well, we watch. Well, really, because your boy Filho has gone back and forward multiple times.
Tell me who that Carpenter has ever fought who's a good grappler that he out grapple. Name me one name. I'm gonna wait.
Let me go back.
Because I can give you a couple on the Filho side, but
I mean, Tagir.
No, he did not out-grapple Tagir. It was not even close.
No, I'm just saying he is a good grappler. I forgot who else did he grab. Who else is a good grappler? We gotta go back and look here.
I mean, there's none. He never out-grapple a good grappler. That never happened.
But that being said, the one thing that I liked about Filho was his physicality against Nascimento, right? That was impressive. That's where I was impressed. That being said, Filho will play guard off his back just as much as Clayton Carpenter will play guard off his back. So I think this fight turns into whoever's on top is going to stay on top, whether it be Clayton or Filho.
Yeah, that part is fair. I do agree with that part.
When I do talk about submission over position, we watched Filho sell out for the sub multiple times where he falls over the top of the guy. Danny Barres falling off to the side. Like he always goes for the submission, which you got to respect as a practitioner. He's going for the kill, but he always oversells and falls off, ends up on bottom. If he does that against Clayton Carpenter, Clay's just going to stay on top.
You could reverse them. You could reverse him.
He could sweep him. It's possible. But, I mean, that's where the jiu-jitsu is really – we're going to have to watch that play out. And we're playing a pick-em fight here. When we look at the striking, I think Clayton Carpenter is only getting better. Like I said, the leg kicks are going to be there all day. If we talk about straight-up boxing, the hands of Carpenter, he's probably the better boxer. But if we want to talk power, I'm probably going to have to lean Filho for power. So now we're talking – like, you see, we just went back and forth. Some guys are better at this. Some guys are better at that. It's basically just draw a line in the sand and pick a side. If you want to help out our show, I would tell them take the over. Over seems very fair in a fight like this where they're relatively evenly matched. I don't see either guy getting necessarily finished. It's just about who's going to be able to get their game plan going better. I'm going to go with the young 25-year-old guy coming out of MMA labs, not a guy in Filho where last fight he doesn't tell you he's injured or whatever his excuse was, and now he's losing to Nascimento when Nascimento could have been destroyed in round 3 because he was death gassed. We were both on Nascimento there. So I don't know. I think the best play would be the over for our viewers. But if you want to pick a side, leave a comment in the comment section below on who you are tailing, Drav or Peg. Key, did you say you were going to break this down?
I lean Carpenter. I don't have a big breakdown for this fight. I lean Carpenter. I do feel like this is a close fight. I don't bet close fights at pick 'em odds. So for me,
I love drawing a line in the sand. I actually said it in Doug's Discord the other day. I'm just part of the business. I'm either going to take my lashes publicly or start handing out fuck yous. That's how I do it. I love fights like this. That's just like the Rocha Nickel fight, another pick'em fight. Plant your flag and start handing out fuck yous when they win. So that's just how it goes. All right, we're on to the main card now. Guys, like, comment, and subscribe. We do this for free every week. One of the most profitable podcasts on here. We give all our breakdowns for free, everything like that. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Get us trending. Get us to 1,000 subs. We got a big giveaway coming. All right, Lucas Almeida versus Michael Aswell. Michael Aswell's out of that, 2-ounce fight club or whatever it's called, 4-ounce fight club.
4-ounce.
With
Josh Van.
Who's the guy who just fought that?
Aiden Coria.
Yeah, Acoria, huge upset. Shout out them. Lucas Almeida.
There's also a guy that fought on Dynamite Contender Series this year from that camp that got.
Well, Justice Torres was bad scenes.
That was very bad.
It was nasty. I don't think I even watched that one, but yeah,
he just got bullied in that fight.
Either way, we got Brazilian Muay Thai fluke artist Lucas Almeida versus Michael Aswell. I mean, honestly, we're talking about a fight where he came in on short notice and fought Pelagioki and kind of brought the fight to him, which was impressive. But it was like a war of attrition, and people are commenting on him. I'm like, wow, you got your ass kicked, but you stuck in there. Like, that's not really a compliment. But, yeah, he fights Lucas Almeida. I over on significant strike props for Aswell would be how I'm playing it. I know Key knows how to play those. I don't have one of those books. I know DraftKings is starting to offer them. If that's the case, look for something that's big plus odds. Play that because Aswell doesn't knock anyone out, and I think he's just going to lay volume on Almeida and the striking. What do you think, Key?
Yeah, I'm I know our man Jewish Better. He loves Aswell and all these Texas guys. I just don't see it with Aswell. Like he throws, but like that's it. Like
Punches and bunches. That's it.
it's just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Like it's not like he's gonna come to the body then go up top. I mean, he's just gonna walk forward and spam punches. Like Almeida, I don't love. One, I think durability wise, I think that he's just not all the way there. And the Philly loss was like the most concerning. But since then, it hasn't looked awful. I think that he can make this fight competitive. He's at home. He does hit hard. Aswell was just, I mean, been in 2 wars in a span of a year. The Bogdangrad fight was a war, and then the Balaji Oki fight was a war. And Oki was honestly just, as I said, out athleticism in him in that fight. So as well as a minus athlete, I don't think that he's a lightweight either. I don't know why he's staying at lightweight because he went off. I mean, he came on Contender Series at featherweight, went off a Contender Series and fought at featherweight, then took the Oki fight, I believe, on short notice at lightweight, but is now staying at no, this is featherweight. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Tripping. Okay, I'm tripping. Okay, so yeah, then that makes sense to me. But Almeida will be the bigger dude here. So I think that Almeida makes this fight competitive. This is sort of just a nasty fight. I don't like either guy at all. I don't think that either guy is going to be in the UFC 2-3 years from now. Past fight as well and in enemy territory. I'll pass on that at chalk.
All right. Like I said, Aswell over props for significant strikes. How I would play it. Dravhy, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's a close fight, like you've mentioned. I mean, we have the volume of Aswell, the durability of Aswell compared to the power of Almeida, the size of Almeida. And I think Almeida has more weapons, honestly. Like, he has good calf kicks that I think can be a good weapon here. He has good knees, good elbows. And what Aswell has outside of boxing and 1-2 down the pipe, he doesn't have much, honestly. And he's very hittable. So is Almeida. But the difference is I think Almeida's going to land the way bigger shots. And I don't think going into tapes, I thought for some reasons that Almeida was kind of a gasser, but his cardio is actually pretty good, honestly. Like, he looked good in round 3 in his last fight. He won round 3 against Danny Silva, I rate Danny Silva higher than Aswell personally. And yeah, he was looking bad early, and then he managed to, had a close round and won the third. So it was a close fight. It was a split. I thought he lost, but it is what it is. I think here is a step down in competition. And I think the people and the market is a little bit too high on Aswell because he overperformed expectation against Oki. He landed a lot of volume. It was short notice, up a weight class, all that shit, right? So he did better than people thought. And now because of that, he's a favorite here. So I don't agree with him being a favorite personally. He's going to have to travel, go to Brazil, fighting the guy that's fighting at home. He's going to get hit with some big shots. And I do think he's the more durable guy of the two, but I also don't think he has that much power to hurt or KO Almeida. That could happen. Don't get me wrong. Aswell is hittable in the pocket, but I do think Aswell is pretty basic to read. And my struggle with this fight is who's going to be on the back foot, because if it's Aswell on the back foot, he's going to have a shit ton of issues because he needs to pressure people to have success. Even if you go back, I don't know if you guys did, but if you did not, and want to have a better read on the fight. And that's also for the guy watching right now, but go watch Aswell fight versus Dorian Ramos. In my opinion, that's a bad look, man. I mean, he was getting backed up. It was a close decision. He was getting hit a lot in the striking. And I don't rate that guy Ramos, honestly. I don't. So bad look to me. Almeida has some bad look in his own right. But if you go back and watch the Daniel Zellhuber fight, the way he pressured him and went for the kill, if he does something similar here, he's going to be winning on damage for sure. I think he could potentially hurt him or maybe KO him. I think Aswell is very durable. The thing is, he's getting hit a lot. Like you've mentioned, he's been hit like 200 significant strike in his last fight, but also in his UFC fight against Grad, who, Grad is much smaller than Almeida, and he has some power and he had more tools than Aswell. And even the commentary said it, like Aswell is pretty simple. He needs to do more than just that 1-2 down the middle. right? So I think Almeida's going to kick the legs. I think he's going to hit him with some elbows, with some knees. And I think he's going to, maybe crack him with some big shots. But Aswell's going to do a little bit more volume. And overall, I do think it's going to be a close fight depending on who's on the back foot and who's not. If Almeida's on the back foot, he still can have success because he could counter Aswell coming in, and he can calf kick at distance compared to Aswell, who's just going to be lost on the back foot, I think. So close fight. I feel like it should be close to pick him. So I'm going to lean to the side of the underdog in Almeida here.
All right. Also, I just realized we got to figure something out. Maybe we'll do it on Twitter, but this is our 100th episode. I didn't even realize that.
Are you sure? I thought it was the next one.
I think it is. I'll check again, but I thought this one was. All right, next fight: Ricardo Ramos versus Khan Ofli. Genghis versus Karolina.
Yeah, it's gonna be this one, Peg. You're right.
All right, so Ofli is 11-4-1. Ramos is 17-7. Odds on these two guys, you can get Ricardo Ramos -175, Ofli +150. Key, I'm going to have you go first, man. I mean, Ramos has been career best, looking like he could go for a title run. Career worst, looks like he should be in the PFL. No way to describe him. Hopefully, not very good. How do you think this goes?
Yeah, Ofli is awful. Chinny. Ramos should win. He's at Fighting Nerds. I think that's important to note. It seems like he's trying to have a career and life change. And is this his first camp? I believe
second camp. Last camp.
Second camp. He just ran into fucking Chepe, who's a workhorse last fight. Yeah. So I get it. A guy like him is never going to beat Chepe in a 15-minute fight. He simply just doesn't have that dog in him like Chepe does, and Chepe just outworks everybody. So Ramos should get it done here. I think he's a longer guy. Hopefully he doesn't spam that spinning back elbow. But I think that here he could even Gilly. Hopefully, I wouldn't be surprised to see that either. Hopefully, just really underwhelming. Minus athlete, kind of unsure why he's here. I think Ramos gets it done. There's no need to be breaking down this fight for 10 years, honestly.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I hope people continue to bet Ofli because I have no problem, even at this price, betting Ramos straight, honestly. Because
you would bet Ramos straight at minus
170. Yep. And here's why. The book, it's so ugly. The book just hands it out there. It says,
I won't even minus 170 is better. I was seeing him minus 210 earlier. So
he's minus 170 now. So listen, the book is handing you out a line being like, here, if you want to take the shot on Ricardo Ramos at minus 170, go ahead. And you know what? Those are the bets that usually hit because it's so ugly. No one wants to play it. You put 200 on it. You make 130, whatever it is. And that's the way you do it. And that's how you make money in this game. Betting on Ricardo Ramos, who has no dog in him. No striking. I think he had like 30 strikes last fight. But listen, better jiu-jitsu, better striking. Like, let's just watch this line. If our boy Ramos gets to minus 150, I think he's an easy click here. I think I played him against Kalibao. Can't remember what line I played that. I played him at minus 103, but I think it was a little juicier than that. And then I did play him as a dog against Mariscal. So, I don't know. I think get to that minus 150 number, and Ramos is a clear bet. So that's how I take it. What do you think, Dravhy?
Yeah, I don't think Ramos at chalk in 2025 is an easy click at all, but I do think he should win this fight, honestly. Like, I don't have a strong read on it. I know a lot of people on the Ofli side. I get it. He can grapple, and we've seen Ramos. When people can grapple, sometimes he falls off a cliff. So I just don't have a good read on it. I think Ramos, because of his experience, because of his flashy style and his wrestling, should get it done. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think he should be a favorite though. But not a big one. So I understand big plus money bets on Ofli. But man, I don't rate this Ofli dude at all personally. So yeah, I think Ramos should win.
So I actually almost Ofli was up there for one of my spread of the weeks, to be honest with you. And the reason that is because Ramos wins on such small margins. But going back and looking at it, like Ofli just isn't good. That's the issue. And I don't know if I could trust him to win one round on all judges' scorecards in Brazil. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. So yeah, that was my take on that. All right, next fight we have is right here. This is one everyone's talking about. This is like Twitter's like fight of the week, it feels like, or a lot of people are debating it. It's Jonata Diniz versus Mario Pinto. Mario Pinto's 10-0. Jonata Diniz is 9-1. Odds on these two gentlemen, you can get Diniz minus 130, Mario Pinto's plus 110. Dravhy, I'll have you go first in this heavyweight slop fest.
Yeah, I mean it's a hard fight to call. I know you like Diniz. I mean, I get it, but it's just hard.
Plus odds, so that's a different story too.
Yeah, I to me it's just a 50-50 fight. I do think the fight's gonna probably go longer than what people think. Honestly, I think it might go the distance. And the way I see it is, I think Diniz early, Pinto late type shit as well. Like I think Pinto has better cardio. And I think his boxing is decent. But he get hit, as I've seen him hurt before, and Diniz hit hard. So if he got hurt, he got dropped against Austin Lane. Not a great look. But I'll say everybody's shitting on him because of that fight. But remember, when people make their UFC debut, and if you listen to what they said in his corner, they were like, "I know you're stressed. I know you're anxious. It's going to be okay. Just let your hands go. It's going to be all right," and all that. So the guy was stressed, man. You can see it because normally he looked better than that. And he's also a slow starter, Pinto. So if you put it on him early, you can have success. But the thing is, I think they're going to have respect for each other early. And it's probably going to be like a low-paced kickboxing affair where I think Diniz might land a bit of the bigger shot. And I think Pinto might land a little bit more volume down the stretch. But it's a close fight, bro. I do think it should be kind of 50-50. I think Pinto by decision is not a bad look. It's like plus 330. I think that's how he wins. And I think Diniz, if he doesn't KO him in round 1, he probably won't KO him later. I don't think Diniz has great cardio in round 3. I think it can be a little bit sketchy. So I favor Pinto in round 3. I favor Diniz in round 1. And who knows what's going to happen in round 2. So yeah, I think it's a close fight. Yeah, I'm not too sure about Pinto's ceiling. I think Diniz is probably the better kickboxer of the two because of his background, and he has more power. So I guess I'll lean Diniz. But yeah, I'm not confident on who's going to win.
Yeah, so I'm on Jonata Diniz for multiple reasons. First off, this is Mario Pinto's first time stepping up against a real striker in real competition. And like you just said, Austin Lane knocked him down. I do think, all credit to, I was talking to someone about this. I actually do like Mario Pinto's most recent interview that he had. He's kind of got a little bit of swag to him. He's kind of like decent dude. He was very humble about the experience. Like you said, they showed the clip of him talking in the corner. Like, you get it. It's your debut. And he's like, he talked about like it's in the apex where like he could hear people talking shit being like, what is this guy doing here? He doesn't even belong in this cage. Why is he here? So he's like, that kind of got to him, is being able to hear those conversations. When the crowds are roaring, he said that's where he performs best. Only issue is he keeps a high guard. He's going against a glory kickboxer. And when he keeps that high guard, he totally ignores leg kicks. He doesn't check leg kicks at all. And I bet you $1 million that Diniz is going to start chopping at the tree right off the bell. Right across the cage, start chopping at the legs, bombing away up top. We know Pinto's been hurt before. Jonata has a good chin. We've seen him take a lot of damage. I mean, he's old on the older end, but like this is in Brazil. He's a glory kickboxer. It's going to be a mostly kickboxing match. Everyone's like, oh, but Mario Pinto is some amazing clinch artist, and he's going to grapple, and he's going to wrestle. He got one takedown 12 years ago, and people think
who's saying that again?
I did.
People are saying that he's going to wrestle.
The places I'm in, like the little Tapuria, the places I'm in, the little Discord you see me in, yeah, you wouldn't believe what I see.
I mean, if he shoot takedown, he's the better grappler of the two. There's no doubt, but he doesn't shoot. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to shoot. So it's that's great. That's like saying, oh my God, if I can't even make an example off the top of my head. Like if Uncle I would have grappled on Saturday night, he would have won by decision. Like, yeah, no shit. But guess what? He got boarded. So that being said, And I was on the under, by the way. It was free.
Yeah, you tell me. I remember that.
Oh my god, I tell you. Well, either way, yeah, I'm on Diniz. I got plus odds. Do I want to? Would I play him at plus 130 or minus 130? No way. Not playing him minus 130. I like him early. I give him early equity in finishing. And then later in the fight, I could see him being up 2 rounds and round 3 getting sketchy. I do trust his chin. Depending on if these guys are, like you said, they're both kind of slow. So as the pace isn't there, he won't tire out in round 3. But if he gets crazy, he could. But yeah, I don't know. Diniz at plus 100 felt fine for me. I took it there, but that's kind of my take on it. Key, did you go or did I have you go first?
No, I haven't gone yet. I'll try to make this a little quick. I think that Diniz is probably the side here. I backed Diniz at like minus 182 or something crazy against Alvin Hines. And I got a bunch of CLV on that bet and stuff. But I did say that like the way that line closed, it was wide. And it proved to be a little wide as Diniz got out of there with 29-28 decision, I believe. And Guzzi Hines, he was on all the roids and all that stuff. So yeah, he was durable and looked fine. But Diniz is just like way slower than I just imagined. And honestly, although he has the glory kickboxing background, blah, 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 it's kind of underwhelming. It feels very basic. It feels kind of slow. And he's not beating guys how he should be beating them. So I think that Pinto is fine, but like the patient shit is lame. You're a fucking heavyweight. Get out there and make your reads and throw. You don't have that much margin for error. So like the patient shit, I think, is going to continue to bite him in the ass. It's part of the reason he got dropped by Austin Lane. He wants to be Mr. Savant, striking savant, and make all these reads, blah, blah, blah. Man, force something to happen. And so I think that there's flawed process on the Pinto side. And then also the anxiety talk and I get it, you're human. So I'm not shitting on him from that standpoint at all, because I obviously would be anxious in the cage too. But I'm also not a trained killer. And you're supposed to be a trained killer coming in the cage. So if your coaches are having to tell you all this and then you're worried about what people are saying outside the octagon and shit, blah, blah, blah. Is there any Dagestan Russian that's worried about shit like that? Fuck no. Like, we don't see the real killers act like that.
John Pork.
Yeah, John Pork was dope last night. But I think that Pinto is just not that good. He's taking guys to decision who he should just absolutely beat the shit out of. Physical advantages on regional scenes, just not using it. I think Diniz gets it done, but Diniz is just ugly. And I after the Alvin Hines fight, I just don't want to bet him. Period. So I picked Diniz. I think they can get a KO. Pinto has been touched before, and I think he can be put down again. So I'll side with Diniz, but I have no bet on this fight.
Just sending out some plays there. And yeah, join the Discord, guys. We're betting other sports. I just gave out a teaser for NFL, gave out a parlay for baseball for tonight's games. Gotta get
Hey, we're talking MMA.
We're
Stop
making
talking about other sports.
Selling our Discord. Vicente Luque, silent assassin. Joel Alvarez, first time debutant at 170 pounds. Minus 700 versus plus 500 on the silent assassin. Kia, I'll have you go first here. I mean, personally, I think Joel Alvarez runs right through Luque.
All right, there's no personally. Everybody thinks that. Like, Alvarez is going to be his ass. This is malpractice, and honestly, predatory from the UFC to be giving Luque Alvarez in Luque's home country. I think that's fucked up. I know Andy. What'd you say?
Join me on the under 1.5. It's at minus 130 now.
I'll pass on that. I think that there could be some extended grappling or clinch scenarios here.
Luque, right?
Alvarez can find front chokes. He can knock them out. I'm not sure if Luque shoots out a panic on the feet and gets front choked, or if he just gets knocked out cold and goes out swinging. But it feels like in this stage of his career, he probably ends up shooting a dumbass shot and gets front choked. So I lean sub on that end, but Alvarez should run through this guy. There should be nobody that's breaking this fight down for 10 plus minutes. This is an obvious Alvarez spot. And honestly, I think he has a chance to have some real upside at 170.
All right. What do you think, Dravhy?
Yeah, I was about to give a 10 minutes breakdown, but I guess I'm not going to do it now. No, kidding. But yeah, the question is just, do you think he's going to KO him or submit him? That's more so the question about this
KO.
fight, how to bet him. I do think it's going to be a submission personally because he's a submission guy at the end of the day, right? I know he has a couple KOs recently, but like, the guy has 17 submission and 5 KOs. And Luque, like he said, if he get hurt, what is he going to do? He's going to probably try to shoot, right? And even if he doesn't get hurt, he's probably going to try to shoot in that fight. And if he does, he can get submitted any time of the week, right? Again, if Kevin Allen, I know he has a good Dars choke, but if Kevin Allen gets you in that Dars, you can be sure that Alvarez can as well. Like, he's a very, very high-level grappler. And the fact that even if he hurt him, he can also club and sub him. So because of that Allen submission, the price is a little bit better for submission. And one thing to note, Close and Brenner, the last 2 guys that Alvarez knocked out, right? They've never been submitted as a pro, right? So Luque has been KO'd and has been submitted. But, I do think even Alvarez against Close, remember when he hurt him, he was out, but like he did try to still go for that front choke when he hurt him. So he's a submission guy at heart. That's what he does. And against Brenner, he had like 2 really good attempts. But Brenner is a dog, and he survived those. But yeah, I do think Luque is going to end up getting submitted here personally. So if you can transfer a minus 700 to a plus 200 submission prop on a guy who's a very, very beast grappler, who has 17 submission, I think it's the way to go. The market used to be high on his submission prop and very low on his KO prop. But I just think now they did adjust, but a little bit too much. You can favor the KO over the sub in this fight, I think.
All right. Well, I think let me make a case for the under. So, like Key said, if it's going over this thing, that means Luque is getting grappling going, and that a storm is brewing for Sir Joel. But let me tell you, if Joel's going to win this fight and cover minus 700, he's going to run across that cage like he does against everyone, and he's going to fucking brutalize his geriatric man. That's what he's going to do. He's going to walk across the cage and bomb away on him in the clinch, elbows, knees. It's going to be quick. It could be like 40 seconds, honestly. Fight's over. Wake up, Luque. It's all over. That's what we're going to be hearing. But goes over. Obviously, Luque got grappling going. Joel couldn't finish him, and now it's going the distance. You have a chance to live bet Luque, live bet someone at better odds, and then get off that over later. But but I think it's not going to be that's not going to be necessary. You play the minus 130 on the under, and you win. And that's how it goes. You just turn the minus 700 to a minus 130 and it gives you a little bit of equity on Luque if you were to find a finish somehow. So, yeah. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. All right. Davison Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson's 15-2. Davison Figueiredo is 24-5-1. Odds on these 2 gentlemen, you can get Figgy plus 250. You get Montel Jackson minus 300. I'm going to have you go first here, man. I mean, it's now or never for Mr. Montel, and Figgy's looked career worst, getting injured in the cage. He's old. He's 38. He's fighting a guy a lot bigger and a lot longer than him. How do you think this goes?
He's 37. He's not 38.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I've bet Jackson pretty big last time out. I think here it's a little bit different just because he's a big favorite and he was pick him last fight. And also, every time he's lost and had trouble in the cage most of the time because he was taking down and out grapple. And Figgy, even at 135, he has shown the ability to out grapple guys and take guys down, right? And he's a good grappler. He has a good guillotine. So I do think he can have grappling success here. And that's what makes this fight fucking tricky to me. Because if Figgy has grappling success and you can catch him in the front choke or something, I can get to Jackson at this price because of how he got taken down in some of those fights and the reasons why he's lost in the past. I can get there personally, but I do think he has a good shot to knock out Figgy, who's getting older in age, and Jackson hit like a truck. So I do think Jackson KO prop is probably the way to go if you want to bet him. But I think on the moneyline side, it's dog or pass. Figgy's fighting in Brazil. He has a grappling pat. And, we've seen Jackson struggle with getting taken down a lot in the past. And I do think he's stronger and bigger, but I think Figgy can potentially take him down as well. And then if he does, Could he take the back? Maybe we've seen a lesser grappler do that to Jackson in the past as well, even in fights that he's won, like GP Buys, for example, was not a good look. So, but yeah, Figgy been injured like only a couple months ago. I think it was a knee injury, and now he's coming back like soon in Rio. I mean, is he going to retire after? I don't really know, but personally, it's dog or pass on the money line still because of the grappling edge that he has. But I think Jackson has a good shot to hurt him and maybe KO him. So I don't know what's the price on that, but let me just check. So Jackson KO is plus 275 on Rivers. Personally, he covers. I think that's decent. And Figgy money line or decisions plus 480. I guess he could maybe catch him in a submission, but yeah, I don't think he will. So Figgy decision is plus 480. I think his pad is to win minutes in the grappling and wins this close decision at home and avoid the big shots and avoid the KO. But I don't think I can trust him to do that at 37 years old. So, yeah.
All right. Key, any different here?
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that this is just a weird fight due to all the things that everybody just said. Figgy knee popped in that leg lock situation with Sandhagen. He sat up and Sandhagen sat up in the 50-50 position and popped his knee. So I'm really fucking confused how Figgy makes a turnaround and fights damn near a week after Corey Sandhagen fight. So like that's kind of crazy to me.
Collecting a paycheck.
It seems like that's just where he's at in the stage of his career. He wants to get a fight at home. It makes sense, but he's definitely not coming in here at prime Figgy shape or Figgy athleticism, which is what he's made a career out of, which is just being the athletic guy. I think that Montel's line is probably a little wide given skill for skill here. Figgy's never been knocked out before. I know that the doctor stoppage versus Brandon Moreno, whenever his eye blew up, and then they do count the Sandhagen fight as a knockout since his knee did pop. Sandhagen just pounded him out from there. But Figgy's never just been like knocked out cold. That's not as crazy as cranking it on top and about how guys squeeze. But I think that Figgy will probably make this fight somewhat competitive, but I think that this largely becomes a staring match. They both will stare at their opponents for long amounts of time trying to find the shot. And Montel has all the tools in the fucking world. But he just seemingly just does not put shit together. I don't know what it is, but he just sits and sits and sits and sits. And getting taken down by Daniel Marcos is bad scenes. I don't care how you give it up. 5 minutes and 45 seconds of control time versus Daniel Marcos. That's awful. So there's some questions to be had. I think Dravhy mentioned the JP Bays fight earlier too. So Figgy dog shot or pass. From the Montel side, I think you have to play that KO. That's the only way he justifies this line.
All right. Next, the main event of the evening.
Real quick, before the main event, since this is our 100th episode, guys have been around. We started in Twitter Spaces doing this shit. No faces at all being shown. Then we came on YouTube after some requests and been running it on here for the past however year and a half or however long at this point now. So if you could, in the comments, drop your favorite or most memorable BTL moment on a stream, on a video, a bet that cashed. Think about your favorite BTL moment. Drop that in the comments. And whoever has the best one, we'll give them something special.
Yeah, they'll get this. They'll get a poster of what the fuck? Of Moicano signed by Moicano himself. That's what they will receive. You comment your best BTL moment, and I will send that directly to your address. And you can have a Moicano signed poster. It's lovely. Charles Oliveira versus Matus Gamrot. Nothing has to be explained here. These guys don't need to be introduced. Everyone knows them. It's a straight pick 'em right now. Money came in on Charles. It's -110, -110. If you could tell me the round, the method, and who wins the fight, I will be giving away this. A Charles Oliveira. It is a 3 of 49 exclusive holographic Charles Oliveira card. So
that's dope.
That's what you'll get given if you comment the method, the round, and who wins the fight. Pick 'em. Charles versus Gamrot. such a
But
hard
Peg, if two people have like the same prediction and they win, what are you gonna do?
If that's the case, next week on the show, I'll put them on like a little wheel and they'll do like the spin the wheel thing, and we'll just do that. But I mean, listen, this is a great main event. I mean, this is a much better fight for Charles than Fiziev was, because I was going to get scary being that Charles came off getting boarded 3 months ago and Matthews couldn't finish his dinner. So we have that. But Matthews is a great grappler and Charles will play guard. So, Drav, how do you think this fight goes?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I know a lot of people was passionate about it, betting the fight on both sides. I mean, Charles is one of my favorite fighter of all time personally, so I'm a little bit biased when he fights. I always want him to win. It didn't stop me to max bet Topuria, ITD, and under in the last fight, but here is just Oliveira struggled many times against guys that can take him down, that can out-grapple him, right? And I do think Gamrot can do that. Gamrot, I mean, people hate him, but the guy can wrestle his ass off, man. He can scramble his ass off. The Sorokin fight was pretty impressive. And yeah, that's the moment of his life. I guess, I mean, we all know the breakdown of this fight, right? About, you know, the striking, the wrestling, everything, right? What I'm going to talk about is more so the narrative aspect and the outside of the game stuff and the career trajectory, because I do think it can make a difference in a fight like this. You know, we have Charles, who's been the champ, who made all his money, who's done it all, who's, you know, I don't really know what's his motivations left in the sport right now. He made all his money, everything. And what does he have to win with a win here? Not much, honestly. And on the other hand, we have Gamrot, who's been screaming to get this fight, who wants to have this fight for a long time, who just wanted an opportunity to challenge for the belt. And he has everything to win with a win here, right? So that's just one thing. Gamrot's coming off a win, who, you know, he looked good, and Charles coming back a bad knockout loss in his last fight, and for the belt that he knows that he's not getting a title shot anytime soon. So I just think that because of that, it make me kind of lean the Gamrot side because of the career trajectory, because of the momentum, and because of how bad he wants to win, and because of the style of matchup. He can have success on the ground, he can take him down, and I don't think Oliveira submitting Gamrot is super likely personally. And on the feet, I mean, Oliveira can hurt him. We've seen Gamrot hurt multiple times, but he's a dog. He has very good recovery. And I can see Gamrot hurting Oliveira as well, honestly, because I know Oliveira's been hurt against good strikers, but he get hit a lot, man. And I mean, Gamrot, if he has a good takedown threat and Charles is worried about the takedowns, we know what can happen. So, and the fact that he's been KO'd only 3 months ago is coming back right now, I think the chances of him getting KO'd probably a little bit higher than they would be normally. So I don't think Gamrot's going to KO him, but I think it's probably a little bit more likely than what people might think this week. I think if Gamrot win, it's more likely a decision, though. I'm kind of leaning that way. But again, I could see Oliveira finishing him. I could see Oliveira winning the decision based on big moments, but I'm not confident. I don't really know. I'm rooting for Oliveira, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, so my take on this is actually going to be the over, believe it or not. And I know that sounds crazy, betting an over in the Charles Oliveira fight, but hear me out. Gamrot doesn't have much finishing upside, right? So odds are if Gamrot's winning, fight is going over. Charles gets taken down onto the mat. Although Gamrot gets taken down or gets a takedown and gets himself into a submission threat, he's a pretty good submission grappler. We have seen guys like Benny Dariush sweep Matthews Gamrot. So, like, that's a possibility too. But something tells me Charles is going to take his time with this fight. It's going to be like a long feel-out process. I think Charles is going to be shy to throw punches early because of what happened with his chin 3 months ago. So all these things add up, and you're looking at, what is it? I think it's over 2.5 on FanDuel is minus 130. Every other book has over 3.5. So you get a free round there at a reasonable price. And I mean, we go over 2.5 rounds. Now you sit back as a fan and you enjoy. You hope Charles knocks him out at 2 minutes and 29 seconds into the third round if you want. But I don't know. Seems like over is pretty fine for me, pretty fair. Everyone's expecting Charles to come in and sub him and knock him out, but like, I don't know. The big question is, like, is Charles still Charles? And like, it's hard to still be the same guy you are at 35 years old, coming off a career bad KO where like he woke up and was like, I don't even know what happened. I didn't even know the fight was over. So, like, scary scenes. Batiste Gamrot, you look at his interviews, he's as dialed as it could be. He's coming to win. He has a game plan. Like, could be interesting. So I'll probably bet the over. I don't know. Probably bet it small. We'll see. Join the Discord to find out. Key, what are you thinking?
Yeah, past fight. Don't know where Charles' head is at, literally. So there's a pass fight for me. I think Gamrot has the tools to beat a guy like Charles. Charles may play BJJ. I think Gamrot can scramble, end up weaseling out of a decision here. I do think most finishing upside does go to Charles, though. Gamrot's been hurt in damn near every fucking fight he takes. Excuse me. He's been hurt in damn near every fight he takes. And he could hurt Charles on the feet, but I don't think that that's due to his actual punching power. I think that that's more so if Charles' chin is just completely changed after an awful KO. Yeah. So it just depends. I know that he hurt Dan Hooker with the double punch bullshit. That was hilarious, but outside of that, I don't see him hurting Charles. So I lean Charles. I'm also a huge Charles fan, so I don't like picking backing in these type of fights because I do think that my bias kind of overrides some of my analysis at times. So it's easier for me to just pass and hopefully pray to God as a Charles fan that Charles does it again and ends up having one more big fight before he calls it a career.
All right, guys, that's the show. Again, who wins the fight? What method? What round? You win this card. Your favorite moment for BTL on our 100th episode. Congrats to us. Like, comment, and subscribe. You get a signed Moicano poster. As for the Discord, join it. We talk fights in there. We talk everything. My free picks go in there as well. These two guys, Key's got a dub club. Hit him up. Show him you're subscribed for the 100th episode. He'll cut you a discount, 100% off, right? See that? Definitely not happening. Dravhy, he's got the odd shopper. I mean, listen, we're crushing it this year. Keep on doing it. We're going to keep doing our thing. As, again, thank you to our sponsor, Overtime. Crypto Book. Join us. Bet $10. Win. They'll give you $20 free. You bet $50. They'll match $50. I mean, we gave out a Dana White Contender Series parlay in the Discord for it yesterday. You would have made $100 free, $150 for joining. It's a legit book. It's cool. It looks pretty. I'll show the ticket on Friday on Twitter, whatever it is. Same one as last week. So that's everything. Thanks for joining us. Happy 100th episode. I wish we noticed earlier, but hey, it is what it is.
It's pretty cool. DM me 100 and DM on Twitter if you want to have a promo code for this week card. I'm going to give you a little something, and I have a lot of props this week. All my bet -1 or plus money, and they are pretty juicy. So join me, get paid, and let's get it.
Don't forget to comment who you're tailing, Dravhy or Peg in Filho versus Carpenter. It'll be a good one, a certified banger. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. Peace.